All right, here's the thing. Everybody's sitting here showing you screenshots or back-end analytics of different channels that are doing tens of thousands of dollars a month, which is fantastic. You need to see that this thing works or the person you listen to actually has results. That's fair. But who is actually talking about the true cost of YouTube automation? What does it actually take for you to create a channel that's not just making money, but thriving, that's scalable, that's lean? What does it actually look like behind the scenes, on the front end? You need to know what the actual implications are of this business before you dive headfirst, not actually understanding what this thing takes, what it actually requires, right? So I've decided to create a video like this, which breaks down all of the costs, not just financially, guys. By the end of the video, if you stick around to the end, I'm going to show you probably the most important, hidden, and expensive cost of YouTube that nobody even realizes. And so please, like I said, if you can't stick around 10, 15 minutes to watch a video like this, you shouldn't be doing a business model like this. It's quite an intricate investment if you don't understand what you're getting yourself into. So you need to understand the nuances and the laydown of this thing before getting involved, before diving in headfirst and making the wrong decisions that could lead you to making zero money or putting yourself actually in debt. So let's avoid that from happening by, like I said, actually understanding what this thing requires. So guys, most people come to YouTube automation for one simple reason: freedom, not having to show their face on camera, lowering the amount of stress that it takes to create a business and generate cash, and endless editing. Nobody wants to do this stuff. Nobody wants to. That's why if you wanted to do this stuff, you would go do drop shipping or FBA or start an agency or any of the kind, right? So the paradox here, though, is that YouTube recently is sold as cheap and easy, right? Simply because the AI stuff, the evolvement of YouTube and how content is being created. But guys, it actually requires investment, and there's different levels of investments, different sorts of investments. We're going to discuss those today. Now, this video is not here to scare you. It's here to prepare you to understand what you're actually getting yourself into, because the worst thing is to be deceived, right? To have somebody just sell this thing as what it's not actually, and for you to come into with a certain, precedent of what you think it is, and to realize shortly after it's nothing like that, right? Because once you see the real cost, you're going to stop falling for the hype and start building this thing with clarity. Again, this video is not going to derail you. It's not going to prevent you from wanting to do this. It's just going to help you get a deep understanding of what it actually is, all right? So let's talk about the YouTube bills. What are the bills that are required, right? The hidden secret here, guys, is that these costs are not just roadblocks. They are what filter out 99% of competitors, right? So this game is actually very, very saturated of people trying. There's so many people that try, but they are the 99%. The people that try, they have the wrong interpretation of the business. They come in with the wrong understanding and wrong expectations, and they slowly fizzle out, slowly or quickly fizzle out. So if you actually take the time to understand what the 1% understands, which is what it actually requires, what it takes, what it needs, and what this business looks like, you will be part of the successful 1%. And that's what this whole video is about. So if you're willing to understand and accept them and master them, you will unlock true leverage of automation. All right. So this can be you. All right. Now, leverage equals automation. If you know the price. This is the caveat. You have to know the price of automation. So let's start with the main question. Guys, there's three main ways to use YouTube, all right? DIY, AI, and hybrid. Let's see what it actually costs. I'm going to start first with the fiscal cost, the actual financial implications of this business. And then we're going to talk about other costs. There are more than just finances. It's not just about taking your card out and paying for a video. There are more costs, and we have to discuss every single one for you to understand what you're actually up against in this business, all right? The first option is the DIY, the do-it-yourself, all right? This works. Let's talk about the implications, the time. It's about 6 to 12 hours per video between research, scripting, editing, voiceover, thumbnails, and uploading. That's the average it takes for a person, a beginner especially, to create a video on their own. Now, the tools you're required are like editing softwares between $20 to $50 a month. That includes like CapCut, design tools like Photoshop, for example, and stock footage software and subscriptions, right? The total investment is probably going to average around $50 to $100 a month. If you don't have $50 to $100 a month, you probably shouldn't do YouTube automation to begin with. There's no way to do this for free. Don't try and do this for free, because number one, if you're trying to use free softwares, it's going to take way too long. It's way too much headache, and it's just not going to come out with any level of quality at all, which means people won't watch your videos. You're just going to have a huge time suck and energy suck, which is going to lead to nothing. So I suggest if you just can't even put $50 to $100 a month towards this, if you're not in the position to invest that kind of money, don't do this. This is not a free business model. It's not even a cheap business model. I'll show you where you should be. I'll show you where you should be hovering. If you don't have the last amount of finances available, which I'll discuss here in a few seconds, then you shouldn't do this business model to begin with. That's just my own personal opinion. You can do whatever you want. It's my professional opinion. I've worked with thousands of people. I know what it takes and what's required for this thing to work. There are exceptions to the rule, but don't try and be the exception. Just try and follow the path that leads to the highest level of success, all right? The hidden cost of this is that you'll lead to burnout. It's unsustainable. There's way too much workload for a beginner, all right? The issue is also the quality plateau, right? You're an amateur. Your editing and thumbnails and stuff is going to drag down your click-through rate, the retention. You don't actually understand how to create quality videos, thumbnails, titles, scripts, hooks, cliffhangers. You don't know this stuff because you're a beginner. And so because you don't know what you don't know, you're going to be creating quality content that's not of quality, which is just going to push people away. They're not going to watch your videos, right? So it's also going to lead to slow uploads, which is a weak algorithm momentum. All right, so you want to be able to maintain a pace and have a cadence to this thing, right? But if you're just creating the content yourself, it's going to be difficult to begin with. You're going to also burn out, which is just going to slow down your uploads. It's not good, right? DIY feels cheap, but it burns time and energy, right? It is not good because it's cheap. It also burns your time and it kills your energy. It's just not really worth it at all. The second option is AI assisted, right? But it's still solo AI workflows. So time to do this is about 1 to 3 hours per video, but this is kind of doing like basically AI everything, right? Those AI slop videos. So there's many reasons why I don't suggest this, but let's say you want to entertain this. Scripting is going to be around like $25 a month. AI voiceovers around $5 to $25 a month. AI visuals, if you want to use like Midjourney or DID, say you want to have like an avatar or something, $10 to $30 a month. And then AI editing through Pictory or VidAI is like $50 to $100 a month. So total investment is around $200 to $300 a month. The hidden cost of this is that the quality control is awful, right? Everything looks robotic. It looks fake. It looks AI. Doesn't have any retention. It's not unique. It's not really easy to follow. It's boring. Yeah. Creativity risk is a huge one. Without research or opinions, outputs sound generic. Everything is going to be generic. It's just straight asking ChatGPT for a script, getting the script, putting in voiceover, adding some stupid clone, and just hoping that this thing goes viral. It could, but you're looking at a 1% chance of success. Don't try and chase the 1%, all right, when it comes to success. All right, the issue is that this thing ends up being AI slop. It's AI slop. YouTube hates it. Viewers hate it. It's not going to work, guys. Don't try and be that one channel or two channels that have worked when there's hundreds of other ones that have failed. All right. AI saves time, but it risks generic and slop outputs. That's usually what you're going to get. Now, what I recommend every single person here to do is the hybrid model. This is what I do myself, is what I teach all my students to do, is the hybrid workflow. All right. Now, this takes about 2 to 4 hours per video, right? Between reviews, strategy, and not grunt work, right? Now, there's 4 main facets, just like everyone else. We use AI for research, drafting, and automation. So you can do this for free with ChatGPT, or the paid version makes it a little bit easier. You can have more outputs, right? $25 a month on average. The freelancer editor is going to cost you between $30 to $50 a month. Notice how there's no Pictory AI or any AI softwares to edit your videos. That doesn't work. It doesn't exist. As of now, it's not a good solution. You need to have a real person that you hire to create your videos. It needs to have life. It needs to have substance, right? The edits need to be on point. You cannot really get away with AI editing videos. It's not going to work, right? Again, there's some channels that kind of play it off. Don't try and be that one channel. It just doesn't work. It's not going to work. Thumbnail designer, I do suggest hiring somebody between $5 to $10 per video. You can try it yourself, but like I said, it's just much better done with an AI designer. You can also use AI in some rare instances to create your videos, all right, your thumbnails. But again, I would just hire a thumbnail designer that can do it for you, unless you're in a specific niche that's just very easy to do with AI, which is only a few select niches. Then scripting and script polishers, right? So doing the scripting, I suggest using it with ChatGPT, and then hiring a polisher off of Fiverr or Upwork to just make sure the script is on point, it's factually correct, and it has good flow. Usually it's going to run you between $5 to $10 a script, more or less $5 a script. It's not necessary to have a polisher, but it's a really good idea if you're not comfortable or you're not really fully educated on what a proper script should look like. My students don't really need this because we audit their scripts for them. So we are the publishers. But if you're on your own, I suggest getting a publisher, right? Now, the hidden cost of this whole thing is that there's management involved. There's giving feedback. There's revising work. Right? There's a manual labor in terms of that. And then training the freelancers, they need to onboard and match the styles. You have to train them and educate them on what you're looking for, build out SOPs. There's a few fundamental high-level stuff you have to do with the team. But all the low-level stuff, which is the content creation itself, creating the videos, you don't have to touch that stuff, right? It's all done by AI and freelancers. Very simple. Now, the biggest benefit is that you get the best of both worlds, right? You get AI, meaning you have speed and affordability, and you have freelancers, which gives you human creativity and overall polish. Right? Produces videos that feel unique and premium and warm, right? While still being scalable. That's the key. That's the main takeaway, guys. You get videos that are actually unique, quality videos this way. YouTube rewards quality over quantity. We'll speak about this as well. It's not just you post a video and you're deserving of views. YouTube doesn't owe you anything. They don't owe you shit, to be very transparent. Just because you spend an hour or 10 hours or 10 days to create one video, YouTube doesn't care. It's not about how long it took you or how much it cost you. It's about your ability to create content that people want to watch, that people actually want to, binge, right? That's shareable. That's worth engaging into, right? That's what YouTube is rewarding. So AI and freelancers is the most expensive, but produces highly professional, differentiated content that earns trust and has a higher RPM and better long-term ROI, right? So this strategy is the way to go. It's going to cost you between $350 to $550 a month. That's usually what my students are spending. So it's a very reasonable cost. So I want to go back to the main thing I said. If you can't invest $350 to $550 a month, as of now, it's probably not a good idea for you to YouTube automation. You can do it with these ones. You can. It's just you're not going to get a good result. You could be the one person out of 100,000 people that managed to do this stuff for free and it works with all the free AI software tools. It could work, but just don't challenge it. If you really want to, go ahead by all means. But I just don't suggest it. I'm telling you from my own professional opinion, working in this business for 5 years and also working with over 1,000 students, it's not the right way to go. You need at least a budget of $350 to $550 to make this thing work successfully for you, not also to burn out. It's not just about getting content done. It's about not burning out. All right. The mindset shift you need to have, all right, is that every single expense is either a waste or an investment. A $1 thumbnail that gets a 2% click-through rate is a waste, right? People are not going to watch that video because it's not getting clicked on because you didn't spend enough money or hire the right person to create the content for you. A $10 thumbnail that doubles your click-through rate, if you get a 10% click-through rate instead of a 5% click-through rate, that's an investment, right? So that's an investment with an infinite ROI. An infinite return on investment, right? The real cost is not what you spend. It's spending blindly without tracking your ROI. You have to see how much you put in, what you're going to get out. So if you spend $5 on a video versus $50 on a video, look at the ROI, not how much you spend or how the video looks. Look at how it actually converted online. That's the key. All right. So for example, these two channels, right? We have this one and we have this one. Same exact topic, the disturbing history of Volkswagen and the evil crimes of Volkswagen. Same topic, packaged completely differently. As you can see, expenses, if you see costs as expenses, you will feel defeated. But if you treat them like experiments, you'll also scale intelligently. So guys, think about, are you spending or are you investing? This is the main key takeaway. This is how you have to differentiate your decisions. Are you looking at them like just I'm spending money, or are you investing in this thing like it's a business or an investment vehicle? You need to also just, first of all, flip the mindset shift of what this thing actually is and what it's not. All right, now moving forward, the next cost is the time cost. Again, not many people talk about this, but the key is that there is a massive time cost that's involved. Automation by default does not just mean hands off. This is a huge misconception of YouTube. It's called YouTube automation, but it doesn't start off automated. Nothing ever starts off automated. You can't just jump into something, press a button, pay this price, and everything is just done for you. You need to build up to that, guys. Here's essentially what you're going to be doing. This is just one area that you're going to be automating. There's obviously more, but just for example, you still have to review your scripts, right? You can't just like use ChatGPT, have it spit out something and just accept it and move on to the next thing. You have to review them, meaning you have to also fix errors, right? Meaning you have to train people eventually to do this for you, meaning you have to shift eventually to project management, right? Be a project manager, be a director, right? So everything still shifts. There's still work to be done until you reach the final automated stage, right? Guys, you move from being a worker to being a manager. That's not a downgrade. All right, it's a step closer to actually running a business. This is a business/investment vehicle, but it has to become one. You have to build up to it, right? You have to actually find and create systems that lead to the automation. So for example, guys, this is one of my students here. His name is Liad. He came to me, he was making $100 a month, and he jumped from $100 a month to actually $10,000 a month. I have an updated testimony. I'm going to post it very soon here. $10,000 a month with only 1 hour a week of work. So that 1 hour a week is basically a 1 hour meeting with his managerial team, his channel manager and his team manager, who then delegate all the tasks and strategies that they come up with for the week to go create the videos. So his whole team is basically automated by himself and his team manager, his channel manager and project manager, who all do the work and handle all the communication and all the workload. But he built up to that, guys. He was coming to me, he was doing all the work himself at $100 a month. Now a year later, he's doing $10K a month with 90% profit margins, and he works 1 hour a week. So can you start this business and automate everything? No, you have to work and build up to that. So I want to just be very honest, guys. If you embrace the shift, you'll grow into a role of a CEO. If you resist, you'll always feel like automation is broken. You just always accuse people of falsifying claims and saying this thing is not automated, this and that, it requires this work and that work. Guys, why is it that myself and hundreds of other students that I work with are working between 1 to 4 hours a week? Why? Because you can automate it, but no one starts that way. I will never promise anyone that they'll work an hour a week within the first 1, 3, even 6 months. That's like a 6 to 12 month journey to get to that point. But imagine if you could make $5K a month or $10K a month and you're working 1 to 2 hours a week. why wouldn't you want to work towards something like that, right? Knowing that that exists, that's such an incredible business model to work towards, right? If you do it systematically, because you can also work for 1 year, you can also make 10K a month, but you can be working complete full hours if you're doing it wrong. If you're not automating anything and not delegating everything and doing all the work yourself, then you're just stuck in a golden shackle business that brings you 10K a month, but you're completely consumed by your business, right? So this can be a very amazing business model, or it can also consume you like many other business models. So the next thing is the emotional cost. This is a big one, guys. I mean, we're not just money-making machines. We're also humans. There are emotional costs, right? Time and money are obvious costs, but the hidden one here is emotions. There's another one, by the way, at the end of the video, a very big one. Don't forget about this. The biggest cost, you have no idea that exists, is the most expensive cost. I want to talk about it last. You have to stick around to the end. Don't be lazy. Just watch the video, okay? So the first one is self-doubt, all right? Questioning YouTube's value. Guys, there's a whole thing called lady in the red dress syndrome. So when something is not working, you're going to, anything you try, it's going to not work right away. You're going to see the appeal. Like YouTube automation, you see, I show you 10K a month, 20K a month, 50K a month. You're like, wow, I want that. I'm going to attempt YouTube automation. Fantastic. So you attempt it. And right away, you hit your first roadblock, your first enemy, your first boss. And you're like, wow, this is actually not what I anticipated. There's this problem and this problem, this problem. This is crazy. I could look at fixing these problems, which seem very out of spectrum for me right now. They're so difficult. But look at this thing over here, dropshipping. This guy has branded dropshipping. That sounds unique and easy. Like I just have to brand something and all of a sudden money comes my way. That's the lady in the red dress. So dropshipping is a lady you see on the street in a red dress. Everyone's wearing black dresses and there's a lady in the red dress. So everything looks monotonous and monotone. And then this one business model there looks like this incredible, easy thing that I could just grab and make a bunch of money. Guys, life will hit you with all these lady in the red dress moments where you try something, you attempt something, and you will likely very soon hit your first roadblock. And that'll force you to go down two paths, right? The path of least resistance and path of most resistance. And the path of most resistance is going to be the one that's challenging, right? Facing that challenge head first, which is very difficult. Many people don't do that. And the second one is the lazy one, right? The lazy one is saying, I'm going to go look elsewhere because something else looks easier and less problematic, when in reality, you're going to chase that lady and you're going to realize right away that she has her own problems. Right? There's always problems hidden under the surface of the outcome that you're unaware of until you're actually in that situation, in that business. Right? So guys, everything has its problems. Everything has its challenges. You have to either face them head on like a man or a woman and overcome them so you can get to the next level until everything actually becomes easy, because there's no escaping this stuff. There's no escaping challenges. No matter what business you do, no matter what you do, it'll always be there to haunt you, right? To challenge you. Because on the other side of a challenge, on the other side of pain and discomfort is growth and outcome. That's the thing, guys. So don't fall for the lady in the red dress syndrome. Don't question the value of YouTube. I've shown you through all of my videos, through all my case studies, that this thing works. We have hundreds of testimonies. We have pages and pages and pages of testimonies. I literally have like an unlimited scroll of testimonies. Why? Because it works. Right? Don't be fooled by jumping into the next thing, because of course this thing is challenging at first, especially if you have no guidance. If you do this on your own, yeah, it's difficult. 1,000%. So that's why I always recommend get someone to help you, hands-on, right? The next thing is chasing quantity, guys. Just going over daily. Like I want to post. Everyone asks me, can I post 1 video a day? Can I post 5 videos a day? And you haven't even started a channel, or you've only posted 3 videos. You don't know how to post quality in quantity, right? Don't sacrifice quality over quantity, because that's the main thing. You can do 1 video a day. You can do 5 videos a day, but those 5 videos a day have to be just as high quality as if you do 1 amazing quality video per week, right? So get the quality to where it needs to be, and then you can scale once you actually have systems in place and teams in place where you match the quality as you increase the quantity. That's the only thing, all right? The next thing is the comparison trap. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't compare yourself to outliers in this situation. You say you found a channel, a competitor channel, that started 1.5 months ago, has posted 7 videos, has monetized and made his first $1,000. You posted the same content, the same niche, and same style channel, and you're 7 videos in and you only have 1,000 views. And you say, whatever I'm doing is broken, it's messed up, YouTube doesn't like me, they hate me, they're against me, this thing doesn't work, it's a scam. Guys, don't compare yourself to other channels, right? Compare yourself to the masses, first of all. Don't compare yourself to the outliers. The outliers means the 1 in every 100 channels that ends up succeeding very quickly. If there's 2-3 channels that you've seen that did incredibly well, incredibly fast, but then there's 100 other channels that have also attempted the same thing and have failed, don't judge your success based on the outliers, the few minuscule ones that got away. Look at the masses and compare yourself to the average. If other channels are succeeding, but it took them 6 months or 8 months or 3 months, and this guy took 3 videos, don't compare yourself to the guy with 3 videos. Do it with the average. guys, comparison is the thief of joy. Don't rid yourself of the joy of this business and the outcome by comparing yourself to the wrong people. You need to compare. You need to have understanding of your competitors, but don't compare to the wrong people, all right? And then frustration with results. Guys, investment exceeds the returns. So this is the issue. If your investment exceeds the returns, at first, that's fine. It needs to. It very likely will. You will spend more than you're making at first. Always, always, always in any business model, any investment, you have to spend to make. Whether it's time or money, you have to spend it to make it. And in our case, it's going to be finances and time. You have to spend time to create the videos. You have to invest in the videos to have them created. This is the key, guys. Let me share with you something. I asked ChatGPT, what is the average cost to start a physical business? Well, it depends on which type of business. Of course, small retail shops, 50 to 150K. Cafes, 175 to 750. Service-based businesses, 30 to 100. Franchises, 100 to 500. Small businesses, 10 to 80K. And then all the other costs, leases, renovations, licenses, equipment, inventory, marketing, payroll, working capital buffer. There's so many different things. It's between $30,000 to $250,000 to start a brick and mortar business or any kind of traditional business. You realize how lucky you are when I just told you at the beginning you can set up a channel to make $5,000 to $10,000 a month with a 350 to 550 buffer overhead. You realize how lucky we are to have that opportunity to make that kind of money, to make the discrepancy of income with such a minimal investment? We're so lucky, guys. So don't get frustrated with your results too soon, guys. Of course, the investment will exceed the returns at the beginning. But just know that, guys, people are investing hundreds of thousands of dollars into businesses that end up failing in 2 to 3 years. And they're left with all that lump sum of debt that they have to now pay off and restart their life and figure out how to pay that off to go on to the next venture. Guys, you'll be maybe $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 in to make $1,000 to $3,000 to $5,000 a month. Again, there's such an amazing opportunity here. You need to realize what it actually is and compare it to the right things. Don't get frustrated when you've spent $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on a business like this, because the thing is, even if you invested that money and didn't go anywhere, you still learned a lot. You understood what not to do, potentially. You understood how to create videos and optimize your scripts, and things you're developing high income skill set, high level skill sets that are going to help you down the road. Now, if you just tweak certain things, maybe the better niche, maybe better topics, those videos will actually go somewhere and give you a return. You just have to have the right strategy, right? So here's the flip side. Once you accept the emotional swings as part of the process, you stop quitting too early. Everyone quits too early. YouTube's easy because everyone quits. If you just don't quit, you will succeed. All right. The cost of frustration is real, but it also is the entry fee to growth. All right. Let me show you a quick example. So here is a bit of an anomaly situation where one of my students, he went into a very competitive niche, very, very, very competitive niche. He knew what he was up against. I told him exactly that it would take at least 60 videos to do well because it's so competitive. But once it does, it works really, really well. I won't expose the niche or anything, but just to share with you, all right? So now 60 videos plus in, I think he had actually around like 80 plus videos. It took him finally to get this thing off the ground. And now you can see the days, all right? $300 days, $200 days, $250 days. That is amazing. Like this thing is easily have a run rate, $10,000 a month plus, all right? But he had to actually post over 60 videos to get this thing off the ground, right? Again, this is very specific to the niche because here's another example of a student that's posted 15 videos and is already making $3,000 a month with 15 videos, right? So this is, it's not a very typical situation to have to post 60 plus videos for a channel to go up. But the point of this thing is, guys, if you are always quitting too early, without understanding that this thing takes time, whether it's 10 videos or 60 videos, it will always work. But if you quit too soon, you'll never see a single result. Not just in YouTube automation, guys. This message transcends to everything. Everyone quits so soon. Everybody gives up so early, which just makes business and success so easy for those who just have even the slightest amount of, discipline and wisdom and willpower to see something through. It's so easy, guys. It's so easy to succeed, all right? The emotional cost weeds out dabblers, right? But if you build resilience, you're ahead of most people. That's a fact, right? Now, the next one is the strategic responsibility. All right, we're almost done here, I promise. Here's the part that gurus never emphasize. You can outsource the hands, but you cannot outsource the head. This is such a big point, guys, because all that's left in this business to succeed is the head, all right? The mindset, the skills, the understanding. Editors can cut, writers can write, designers can design, but none of them can tell you which niche to choose, what your avatar's personality should be, and how to connect with your audience. This is your job. This is basically all that's left. You're the creative director and the project manager. That's all that's left. The rest is delegated by freelancers. All right, automation doesn't free you from your responsibility. It forces you to step into leadership. And that's a cost that most people ignore. And that's actually one of the biggest things I teach my students is how to be a leader, how to actually assemble a quality team, how to manage that team, how to compensate that team accordingly, how to grow, all right, with your team, and how to grow your channel correctly. This is the main takeaways that I have in my business, all right? The real cost is responsibility, but it's also the real reward, because responsibility is what turns a channel into an actual business, into an empire, a scalable business, all right? Now, the other one is the misinformation cost. Big one, all right? The greatest invisible cost is not money. It's what you lose by making the wrong decisions, because everyone is spewing out different opinions, different strategies, different fucking AI bullshit channels that don't work. All right, everyone's giving you the wrong information. Unfortunately, that's why I actually get very passionate about these videos. I get excited to create these videos because I'm giving you the right information. I'm giving it to you for free, for God's sake. Because every bad script you upload is a wasted algorithm trust. Every month in the wrong niche is time you could have spent on a profitable one. Every $500 blown on cheap freelancers is money you could have money you use to build actual brand assets that convert. I go live, by the way, twice a week on my free school community. All right. If you guys haven't joined it, first of all, first link in the description, just join. I don't know why you wouldn't. There's like 7,000 members here. But point being, I go live twice a week. And one of the main things I always say is that, guys, if you have a channel right now or you're anticipating going into a channel, drop it in the chat. And I always audit everyone's channels and I give you honest opinions, right? Honest audit. Basically, if you're in the right niche, I'll tell you. If you're in the wrong niche, I will tell you bluntly and tell you to get the hell out. The worst thing you can do is not have the right information. Is go into a niche thinking it's the right niche because some wannabe guru told you online, and then spend time and money into it, realizing later it's not going to get you monetized, it's not actually profitable, it's too saturated, it's too competitive, it's not the right niche for a beginner. And then you end up actually having to restart or just quit because you've already wasted all your money or you're just disappointed with the business model. So join the free school community. Let me roast your channel or give you good confirmation on it, because otherwise it's not the right thing. All right. Don't be here. Don't mess up here, guys. Don't mess up here. All right. Guys, misinformation cost is sneaky. It doesn't show up on your bank statement. It silently compounds, making channels stall for months or years. All right. Small creators don't see this as, what will this cost me? But think, what will it cost me if I don't do it right? This is what you need to be thinking as, all right? Cutting corners now is going to lead to everything being much more expensive later down the road. Now, the hidden cost of AI overdependence. This is a huge one too. Huge, huge, huge. Do not overdepend on AI. It's the most exciting and dangerous part of automation is AI, because it makes things faster, but it doesn't actually make things better if you use it lazily. Because AI commoditizes content predominantly. Everyone has the same voiceovers, everyone uses the same ChatGPT scripts, which means there's zero differentiation. So overdependence means your channel is one algorithm update away from just being wiped out. Because everyone is doing this bullshit slop videos, copy and paste videos, no heart, no soul, no differentiation. YouTube hates it, viewers hate it, you're gonna get wiped out. Be unique with your content, guys. Create good content. AI should not replace your creativity, it should amplify it. So think of it like a hammer, right? You can either build a house or you can smash your thumb. All right. So now I want to talk about the last thing, the last and most expensive hidden cost that no one even thinks about, but is literally the most expensive thing in this business model. And honestly, in most business models, the biggest cost that's holding you back, the biggest, heaviest, and most dangerous cost is waiting until you're ready. This is the true opportunity cost. All right. Consuming tutorials without uploading, talking yourself out of starting because it just might fail, right? The truth is, guys, failure costs something, always. But inaction costs everything. Would you like to be the person that says, I tried, or the person that says, what if? Don't be the what if person. Because first of all, there's no such thing as failing. There's only such thing as succeeding and learning. Everything that didn't go right was a learning lesson that can lead you to success and closer to success. Every single time, guys. Every day you wait, someone else starts. Every week you hesitate, you lose another chance to learn, grow, and compound your momentum. All right? Don't be this person who just thinks all day. Be this guy, actually taking action and seeing results, like myself and all the hundreds of students that I've worked with, over 1,000 students at this point. And we have an incredible success rate. Why? Because this thing works, guys. The cost of trying is measurable, but the cost of regret is invisible and it's permanent. All right? I'll leave you with one last thing. Every single time you attempt something and you fail and you give up, you basically lie to yourself. You condition yourself to believe that you're not worthy of success, that you're not worthy of the next level in your life. You're not worthy of making more money. If you try something and quit and never go back, you condition yourself to believe that you're not worthy of anything more than you have right now. The debt that you have, the low income, the low salary, the depression, the living conditions that you have, that's all you deserve, because you're conditioning yourself to believe it, because you're starting something, which is fantastic. You're not succeeding, which is fine. It's normal not to succeed at something right away, especially not the first time. But when you give up completely, that's when you fail. Doing something and it not working out is not failing. That's attempting, trying, and learning. Giving up completely is when you fail. Just know the difference, guys. So to finish this whole thing off, all right, automation has costs. YouTube has costs, but they're not punishments, guys. These are investments. You're getting into a business. You're getting into an investment vehicle. There are investments, so pay them wisely, and YouTube becomes the best ROI you have ever seen. All right, the only cost you should fear is the cost of never starting. Like, for example, just take 2 seconds here to show you some of our accomplishments. I'm not even going to handpick these. Just look at here what we have. Look at this August update. So this student just finished with 13K revenue, which 12.5 of it was profit, and got a silver play button. Also talked about different earnings from, third-party monetization strategies and his goals for the rest of the month, the next month. All right. August inspiration, you can see here 1 day ago. These are literally the results. This is a brand new channel that he started, the videos, and then the other channel that he has is making $3,000 a month. He came to me, was making $100 a month. Now it's making $3,000 a month. All right. This guy got monetized. This person finished some tasks, 20K on the month, 10K, new channel monetized in just 3 weeks with 3 videos. Another win here. This is his first video, literally his first video on this channel. It's at 12K. Actually, I just checked it before this video. It's at 25K, his first video. All right. 6K a month milestones. I'm not even handpicking. This is just the first page of my accomplishments tab. 6K revenue, August update. Look at this, $12,000, going back to 20K months. Guys, this is the first page. This guy got monetized with, I think it was like 7 videos in 14 days. All right, actually 4 videos in 10 days. Sorry, 4 videos, 10 days, he got monetized. Another win, first victory, 1,000 views on first video. Guys, everybody's winning in this community. Everybody's winning. Why? Because it helps so much to have obviously a clear roadmap and having somebody watching over your every move and shoulder, right? And second of all, because this business model works. End of the story. This wouldn't be happening if the business didn't work. As great as I could be as a coach or all the knowledge I have, it wouldn't matter if the business model didn't work. YouTube automation works. It is setting people free every single day, and you could be one of them if you just try and don't give up. It is insanely easy for those people that just have the foresight to think and set a goal that they just stick to. That's all it takes, guys. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment. There's a hype button somewhere, I think, under here. You can click the hype button. But if you watch all the way to the end, you guys are MVPs. You're deserving of success because you're willing to even spend half an hour here to watch a video to the end, to learn something new, to understand what the implications are of this business before you get into it. Or if you're into it, understanding what it actually takes to succeed. Right? So if you enjoyed this video, please, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Watch more content on the channel if you want to learn more. I'm very transparent. I'm an open book. I share channels. I share everything publicly. Also, join the first link in the description. That's the school community. I have a free course. I go live twice a week, and there's a member, or 7,000 members, almost, that are there with you doing this business model day in and day out. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.